So now we're live on YouTube,
I think we are.
I don't know how to
notification.
Oh my god, I forgot headphones.
All right,
yeah,
I guess
it's live.
we will start with a quick introduction to what we're doing. If you've been following us along on Twitter, it is the hashtag, what did we decide about?
Hashtag
Cruel
cruel
read-along.
read-along.
Yeah, the live show for it. We've all either been rereading or reading synopsises of The Cruel Prince before The Wicked King came out, and we're here to discuss it. I guess we could do introductions first.
Yeah.
So I am Michelle from, I think my YouTube channel is Michelleabelle, and then everyone just go ahead, introduce themselves.
Okay.
Oh, we're all talking at once.
Well, I'm Binta from Positive Writer.
Hello.
Reads.
I am Ilya from My Bookish Babbles.
I am Marta from Read by Marta.
I'm Katie from Katie's Book Nook.
And I'm Brittany from Brittany the Bibliophile.
And we are a pretty big group tonight.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. So how do we want to do this?
Well, someone suggested we make like a list of stuff to talk about, and basically like favorite characters, anything like that. So I feel like we should maybe do that if we don't know what else to do.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Maybe we can start off like what our general thoughts were.
Perfect.
Books.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting a weird sound, or is that my headphones?
You know, I am getting a weird static.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's gone now.
I guess I'll start. Oh my god. So this was my reread of The Cruel Prince, and I don't know. This was my favorite read of last year, and I just loved it so much. And the thing I also enjoyed during this reread was all of the double meanings that I saw in all of the things. Like when you know the final plot, you like it's so much better to read. And I think my favorite character is definitely Cardan, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in The Wicked King and how he's gonna develop, because like I love him.
I feel like Miona's just sitting here with like an evil smile because she knows what's gonna happen.
So yeah, we should totally warn everyone that someone had an advanced reader's copy of The Wicked King.
Yeah.
And
Like I'm gonna keep quiet.
We're also insanely jealous too.
I tried so hard to get an ARC at BookCon. I literally would like go to the booth when they were giving them out, and then there'd be like a huge line and like people pushing each other, not pushing each other, but like everyone wanted to get an ARC of it, and I was like, I don't think that I'm gonna get one, and I didn't. It was sad.
Not in the cards for today.
Yeah. Okay, I can go next about my general thoughts. I picked this up in June of last year, and I wasn't sure like how I was gonna feel about it, because at that point it had been getting either really rave reviews or really like people were like, oh no, like I thought it was gonna be great and then I didn't like it. So I kind of went into it not knowing if I was gonna like it or not, but I ended up loving it. I mean, I'm not like a very critical reader. I tend to love those things that I read, but I was just so surprised because it was different, because Jude is so power hungry, and I love that she's just like unapologetically trying to get power for herself to survive in this world where she has like huge disadvantages. And I loved the tension between her and Cardan. I thought it was so different than like the typical romances in YA. And yeah, I was just like also shook at the whole ending part, because things get crazy and I was not expecting it to be that crazy, and I just had a really good time reading it. So
yeah,
definitely.
I guess I'll go next. Well, I mean, this book was really hyped last year, and I was reading it or whatever. Like, I heard stuff about it, but I saw some fan art on it, and I thought that it looked so cool. I was like, I have to pick this up. So I picked it up, and I knew it could be either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever, and I kind of just wanted to take the chance. So it ended up being the best thing ever because, like you said, like Jude is just such a powerful character. I love her so much. She's my favorite character. Because you never see protagonists that like want to be the villain, like it never happens, and like I love it. It's just beautiful, and Jude and Carter's relationship, of course, is just amazing. I stand like their scenes are like my favorite ever. So yeah, I was really surprised, and I'm glad that I read it.
I think you're definitely right in the thing about the fan art because the fan art is great. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. On Twitter too, I always find I won't even like read the caption on like who's it by or what story it's for, but I can just tell because it has Jude's big horns, and I'm like, ooh, this is my book again. I guess I'll go next.
T'Challa.
Yeah, you said
oh my
god.
Choice really show stealer. But I pretty much had like the exact same opinion on all you guys. I picked it up, I think it was March of last year. So like waiting for the second book to come out has been absolutely awful. But I was like not sure what to think about it. I bought it because the cover was pretty and I know I saw it on BookTube before. And I know I heard positive reviews. And then I went into it and I'm super critical on books. I like anything with a cliche. I like really have to like the way they do it or else I get angry about it. And every single thing that she did, she like completely went off the like norm of what you would do, but still kind of kept a lot of like I guess mythology on fairies. I thought that was cool that like the sort of like typical like you can't tell lies or you have to like eat salt to get away from their like I don't know geezes or whatever they're called. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Okay, so I guess I'll go. So I bought the book first because I thought it was like really, really pretty. And I kept hearing like negative reviews of it. So when I went in, like I had like low expectations. And I listened to the audiobook first, which I think helped because like the beginning was kind of slow for me. And so when I met Carden's character, like I automatically loved him. But I also just liked how Jude wasn't like how most characters are, where like she has to be like the best at everything because like there's a reason why she has to be the best, and I like really really liked that because and I also just liked how like they all were cool, so they had a reason to be.
Jesus.
Someone wants to be in the live show.
My little brother came in. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, I was done.
Yeah, I feel like I had a pretty similar reading experience as all you guys. Like I actually got mine in the Owl Crate, like with the fancy cover. And I had not heard anything about it, and then it kind of just blew up, but I was still so hesitant because I feel like I either saw negative reviews about it or something, but I really just thought I wasn't gonna like it. And the first like 100 pages, I still kind of thought that. Like I really loved the fairies in it though. I loved the fairies and I loved like the world that we were in and everything, but it just wasn't a 5-star read yet. And then one day I just kind of like sat down and I flew through like the last part of the book. Like I finished it in 2 days or something like that. And I loved it because that's like really when like Jude becomes like a badass. And I feel like I really wanted her to stand up for herself like the entire beginning because she wasn't really, and her sister never really stood up for her either. And I was so frustrated by their family dynamic and everything. But I also did not, oh my God, I hated Carden for the very beginning. I hated him. Like I was so frustrated, and that was like it was taking me out of the story. So until I marathoned the rest of it, and like I found out, his secret sweetie pie side, and that Jude was a secret badass, and like all this other stuff started happening, I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I wanted, So, but yeah, the fairy part is probably my favorite aspect of this book. I think that Holly Black just does fairies so well.
What's interesting about the fairy aspect of it, when I went to the Cassandra Clare signing, she's really good friends with Holly Black. So she was talking about like how her and Holly Black like have fairy books out at the same time, because the Dark Artifices deals a lot in fairies and like how they were different and like how they both researched the fairy stuff. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
That was definitely something that I noticed, because there's a lot of similarities I feel like between their types of fairies, which is totally fine. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't know they were friends before I knew that, so I was like, oh, this is a lot like
I'm reading Queen of Air and Darkness, and there was like in one scene there was just a quick line like about a fairy that had like something metallic smeared on his cheek, and I was like, is that a reference to Carden? I like don't think so, but I was like, oh my god, imagine if it was like that little subtle reference, like that'd be so cool.
Well, I feel like there are references in like Cassie's writing of like this world, just like small ones, like really tiny hints, but like it's cute.
Yeah,
I feel like if my best friend wrote about like a subject I was writing about, I would totally add all the little Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
Marta?
So when I got into it for the first time, I was scared because I had read 2 other Holly Black books before and I didn't really love them. I gave them both 3 stars, so I was scared going into it. But once I read it, I fell in love. I think in the first 50 pages or so. And yeah, now I am completely obsessed with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So should we get into our questions if we have any?
Yeah, I think it's also maybe important to quickly say that this contains spoilers if you haven't read it yet. But yeah, let's get into the questions. Also, if any of you guys who are viewing this have any questions, you can ask them in the live chat or ask them on Twitter using the hashtag #CruelReadAlong, so we can check them out.
Cool. So is it just like general questions that we had like going forward, or what are
whichever questions you can really think of? Like we could just start with an easy one, as in like, who is your favorite character that isn't a main character?
Ooh, like favorite side character. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, quick question. Did you guys read The Lost Sisters as well?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
It was really quick, but it made me realize how much Taryn like really sucks. She sucks so much.
Taryn, like I hate her, so that's why I don't even want to read the novella, because I'm like, that's just gonna make me hate her more.
Basically, the whole, which I didn't realize this, but the whole reason that they started being mean to Jude is because they thought that Locke was with Jude and not Taryn in the beginning. So like when she like gets out of the river and Carden is like, oh, Taryn, like you are safe, but like you don't have to stand up for your sister. She like just does it and goes along with it, knowing that it's all her fault that they're doing that to her, and she just like doesn't care.
Yeah, and also there's one scene with Jude and Nicasia, I think she's called, whatever her name is. Yeah. And then she says, like, it's at the party at Locke's place, I think. And then Nicasia says, but which one are you? And then Jude says something like, the one you hate. And then she's like, you don't even know. Like, what?
Crazy, I know. And there was this one, so when Carden pulled, oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
When Carden pulls Taryn aside and like Jude sees that Taryn is crying, that's because Carden says like, oh, I can see why Locke likes you. You're awful, but you like pretend that you're not, or like you think that you're good, but you're really awful, or something like that. And I was like, my homeboy Carden knows the truth of Taryn.
Yeah.
Dude, but it's also even like crazier to think that Taryn was seeing Locke. She knows Locke is just kind of messing with her sister, and she's still totally okay with it. She's like, it's fine.
I know.
That's my
Yeah.
boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
like, not only does she suck, like, to begin with, because everything that's bad that's happening to her is because of Taryn, but it's also bad because she knows that Locke is just kind of messing with her, and she just lets it happen, and she doesn't even, like, bring it up to her sister or anything like that. And I was just like, dude, you have no sense of, like, sisterly love at all.
Yeah, and they're identical twins too.
Right,
yeah.
How even do you be mean to your own twin? Like,
dude, and the most, like, messed up part of it all is the fact that, like, Taryn thinks that everything bad that happens to her is because of Jude. And she's like, well, if you would just try harder, they wouldn't pick on you. It's like, no, if you wouldn't be dating Locke, they wouldn't be picking on us.
Yeah. And the one thing also with Locke that I found interesting is when he asks Maddox for Taryn's hand, and he's like, oh, well, like, you know, Taryn knows we're not particularly constant people, and Maddox is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I basically, like, he was like, I don't cheat on my wife. And so basically, like, Locke trying to use the excuse of, like, being a fairy to be like, this is why I'm awful, but no, like, he's just awful.
Literally
That's
not
like all
all
guys.
people.
Yeah,
That's
like,
like all guys when they're like, oh, but I'm a guy, so this is just how I am. And then you have another guy that's like, no.
But I think it might come into play in The Wicked King, because, like, I don't think the Lost Sisters of Turin's point of view is the full story. Because I read it, like, alongside The Cruel Prince this time, and it ends really early on in the story. So, like, I think it ends in, like, page 130 or something in The Cruel Prince, and the last few hundred pages is not even, like, you don't know from Turin's point of view. So
yeah.
I don't know what's going on there and, like, what her motive is, but I think it might come into play in The Wicked King. But yeah, only Miana knows.
she's just back there like.
Actually, I really
I'm not
like.
saying anything.
I was just, like, looking in the little chat though, and Allie was saying how she feels like Taryn's motivations are almost, like, unbelievable, with just the fact that, like, she's willing to mess up her twin for a guy. But I feel like in a way it makes Taryn's character that much more unlikable. Like, she really is just incredibly. She's so self-centered that she's willing to give up everything just to, like, get her way in life. And I just feel like that's why her motivations are believable, in my opinion. But I wanted to get your guys' opinions.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, you think about it, Jude does a lot to always protect Taryn. Like, she sees Taryn crying. She sees, like, them bothering Taryn. She basically antagonizes all of Cardin's circle to protect Taryn, and Taryn's just, like, letting it happen because she wants to be a wife to a fairy and, like, have her place in the court. And I feel like just Jude has a lot more, I guess, respect for Taryn in that regard, where she's always trying to protect her, and, like, Taryn literally doesn't give a shit about Jude, and it's so frustrating.
Someone in the live chat, Tea Time with Naomi, says Taryn does not deserve Jude, and I think that's so true.
Yeah. Also, hi, Naomi.
Oh, that's so interesting. She's, like, the same girl said that maybe she dislikes being a twin and thus is more, like, noticeable.
That's definitely it could be a reason.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, you would hate to see someone that looks exactly like you succeeding in this life better than you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, that's definitely a thing, like, that happens.
I definitely, also think that there was a thing that Taryn said to Jude, and she's like, oh, we're like each other's mirror. You just don't like what you see when you look at me because I'm you, or something like that. But I think that Taryn was probably, like, speaking
talking about herself.
Yeah. Like, sees herself mirrored and is like,
yeah, no, 100%. Because it's like, that's like, okay, totally, like, kind of off topic, but if any of you watch The Vampire Diaries, like, they talk about doppelgangers, and like, doppelgangers hate each other because, like, they look exactly alike. So that's what I'm relating in my head. I'm like, that's why these twins hate each other.
That's totally parallel.
Naomi has a lot of good theories. She also says, they say twins don't happen in the Fae world, so she can never blend in, she can never blend in.
Jesus, that's a good one.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good.
Well, she would hate her for life because she can never really be a fairy because twins don't exist as fairies. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, do not forget the big plot point where they had the one guy drop the crown that was supposed to go to Jude, but instead they dropped it to Taryn after it was established that, like, you hate Taryn, and you had no idea what would happen and where the crown would end up after that, before, like, I believe Jude came in and snatched it away.
Yeah.
Taryn.
Jude is
So,
like,
yeah.
she's oh.
No, sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jude is kind of like, oh, you can say anything about me, but not about my family. And then Taryn is kind of just like, I don't care what you say about my family. Don't say anything about me.
Yeah, so true.
She just does not care about anyone else but herself.
Yeah, they're just complete opposites. Like in every sense of the word, they are opposites. And it's just like frustrating to see because like Jude like has this really hard exterior, but on the inside, like she loves with her whole heart. While I feel like Taryn has this really soft exterior and on the inside she's cold. Like she has nothing in
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she pretends
Which
like
I think is weird
this.
because they're identical.
Yeah, well, I think it's just like I never really considered like the twin aspect of this book as much as like we're talking about it right now, but I think that's a big like plot point that like Holly Black maybe wanted to accentuate, like just showing how like people can be exactly alike and still be completely different in, you know, these awful ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Naomi asks, how do you think Vivi plays into this? Do you think she supports Taryn or Jude?
Jude.
Oh, she's
I feel like she respects her after like the stuff that she did earlier in the book. I feel like she would respect her more now, so she won't like instead of like making fun of her, she'll be like on her side.
Yeah, I mean she's taking care of Oak now too, so that's like a big responsibility, and she wouldn't do that if she didn't support Jude.
Dude, okay, wait, that Oak plot twist though.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Especially when I reread it in foreshadowing.
Oh yeah.
Like the foreshadowing for like Oak, I was like, whoa.
I was shocked, honestly. Like,
and then sorry. And then when she gets Oak to put the crown on Cardin, I don't know why when I was doing my reread, I like completely forgot that happened, even though like obviously Cardin is the king. Like I don't know why I wouldn't remember that. And then I was like, oh my god, she did that. And it's just because like as a reader, everything that Holly Black says up to that point, like it's kind of like lying by omission, right? Like she always talks when like Jude's talking about her plans. She like basically like acts like she's gonna put Oak on the throne, but then she has this whole conversation with Oriana about protecting Oak and like not letting him be on the throne because then like, that's bad for him. And so like up until the last second when Oak's holding the crown and it's like he's putting it on Cardin, then you're like, oh my god, wait, she was meant to do this for Cardin, and like that's why she got him to like swear fealty to her. It's like it's such a crazy manipulation.
And it's crazy for a writer to write like first person kind of style that you like a plot is in her brain that you have no idea about until the second it happens, whereas you're going through everything and you have zero idea that her like end game is to make Cardin king too.
I love that in books. Every time that happens, I get so happy because it's like a plot twist that you don't have to have a villain for, because the characters are the ones who are like you're supposed to like them, but they're the ones who are betraying you essentially.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
See, sorry, Ali just said like that it's in first person present tense, so she doesn't understand how we didn't know that Jude is planning it.
True.
But I think it just has to do with the fact that Jude is an unreliable narrator. Like overall.
Yes.
Because like she's 100% unreliable. You have no idea what's going on in her head most of the time. And I think like part of that is the fact that she's poisoning herself every day. Like,
she poisoned like the 2 cups or whatever because she was gonna poison the guy, but she poisoned both of them just so he did not pick the one that wasn't poisoned. And we didn't even know that. Like,
yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, it's like it's very much like Holly Black gives you enough of the narration in Jude's head of what's going on, and then cuts out the things that are important, so you just like don't. It's like she'll have, like I said, she'll like have her talking about her plans, but then it'll just cut to the next scene before you actually get into like the details of like her sitting down with everyone and being like, this is how we're gonna do it, and it like that omission then makes a believable plot twist later, because you still know that she was planning something. You just didn't realize you didn't get the whole picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm so sad. Naomi says that Cardoon is an evil sod and Oak should have been on the throne. I love Cardoon.
But especially like during my reread, we talked about how Jude is protecting Turin, but during my reread, I saw that Cardoon is constantly protecting Jude.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, very true. That's true. Yeah.
So, and like at first you think, oh, he's so evil, he's so mean, he's cruel, and then when you know like the feelings behind it, they are like, oh wait, he's constantly protecting her, but not in an obvious way, so it doesn't look weird to his friends, I guess.
Yeah, it's like he's torturing her, like, or bullying her, like, a little bit to the point where Jude thinks that, like, he hates her, and I guess maybe it's almost like him projecting his own, like, disgust that he has an attraction to a human, but at the same time, like, he's making sure that it's never enough, and that it's, like, it's also like his friends that are doing the more horrible stuff to Jude, like Locke manipulating her, and how do you say it, Valyrian trying to kill her like multiple times, and she thinks that Cardoon is behind that, and that's why she thinks, oh, like Cardoon wants me dead, but really, like Valyrian was just awful and sucked and was doing it because he wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's also like when he is bullying her, he has the power over his friends, you know, like he makes sure that it is bad but not worse than his friends or something like that. Like he kind of holds the line of like how far to go,
because he's like supposed to be like the leader of like the friend group or whatever, so they listen to whatever he does. So you're right, he is kind of like protecting her because he doesn't do really bad stuff, just like kind of bad.
Yeah.
And also like with the fairy
friends,
sorry.
Okay.
One of my, everyone sees Cardoon as like, but technically in like Fairyland, he's actually like really soft compared to like us.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's also like the scene with the fairy fruit, you know, when they are kind of making her delirious, and Locke is like taking her home but doesn't do anything to get her off the fairy fruit. But Cardoon makes her suck on her own blood to get the weirdness out of
her. Whole life. Like, wow.
He's like Loki helping her.
So like he's not as cruel as everybody acts like.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
It's like he has to have this facade.
Everyone sees him as like, see.
I'm sorry, Mira, you can go.
I wasn't gonna say that was all.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say he like has this facade of cruelty to like keep up the fact that he's the sixth son, and he like is a lush basically, and like drinks and is like mean, but he is like, like someone said, he's like a secret softie. He doesn't like anyone to die, whereas other fairies seem like they just kill people willy-nilly, and like he doesn't like bloodshed, he doesn't like swordplay, he doesn't. And also the scene when Jude sees that he's beat by his brother. Oh my god.
That was serious. He was like, what? Oh no.
I just think that like everything that he does is to create this like this fake version of himself so that there's less noticeable, like that he's less noticeable, so that people don't like see all these things that he is doing and all these things that he is feeling. Because obviously like for a fairy prince especially, he's kind of like off the wagon, like he's not doing things right, you know. I think that he just has to like put on a show for everyone around him, and every single thing that he does in this book is a show. So like I don't even know if we've seen the real him yet.
You're right, like who is the real Cardoon?
And I would say we didn't see enough of him either, because I found when I was reading it that I like, though I mean I automatically loved him because he was the bad boy in the plot, I didn't really get to know him, and I feel like in the second book that's going to be such a main focus on him because he is king now and he is under Jude's servitude for the next year, right?
I almost think that like there's like gonna be so much tension between them because he trusted Jude, and that's like going along with his like softer true self trusted Jude. Yeah, she just was like, never
Forget you,
mind, manipulated
like, that's
him,
why
and now
this is
he's pissed.
I think we're gonna see one of the worst sides of him in the Wicked King. Like,
Yeah.
like part of it's gonna be one of the worst,
Yeah.
like hymns, because he just gave his trust and he got betrayed. Like he's gonna be putting on the show of his life right now, and it's just gonna be crazy.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Also,
after the book, and like that's probably why, because she betrayed him like several times. So he's angry.
And he like admitted his feelings to her basically, and like they kissed.
Yeah.
And with her having a knife to his throat, which was like one of the best kisses ever. I love it. It's so good. And so now they're kind of like, they were on the same side for a little bit, and now they're kind of like pitted against each other, but they're like still attracted to one another.
I just think it's gonna be like extra interesting because obviously like Jude is also putting on a show. Like as much as she's trying to like be this person, like she's also putting on a show, and so it's like they're both faking it, and I just can't wait until like they both like reveal themselves to each other and like
And then they're perfect for each other.
revealed in every single way.
Oh, by the way, what did you guys think of the Alice in Wonderland book and the note inside it? Because like, do you think it will still come into play, or that it has had its role?
I hope so, because it was really weird.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like it might be a way to reveal more of Cardin's soft side, maybe. Like, I don't know.
What I found weird was that he didn't like notice it or something. That the
because she tampered with it or whatever, and like she wasn't supposed to, but he never talked about it. So like, that is weird.
Yeah.
Because I read that and I was like, wait, you would notice if a book with an important note inside it is missing, right?
Unless there's more important notes in his other books.
Right.
So
for me, personally, like when the Alice in Wonderland book came to play, I just saw it so much as like how Carden must see Jude.
Yeah.
Because Alice like fell into the rabbit hole. She's in this like whimsical, crazy place that makes no sense. And that's kind of exactly what happened to Jude. Like she fell into this world that makes no sense, that isn't made for her. And like I think that like the similarities are maybe why he kept it. Like I just saw like that when I
that's a really good point. Yeah, I feel like always sorry, Ben.
It's okay. I was just like saying that. Basically, he probably sees it as like when he wrote the note and all that, just like a keepsake that reminds him of her. Yeah.
Especially because it's like a human thing. Like it's a human book that he isn't supposed to have, and like she
perfect.
Isn't supposed to have.
That's a perfect theory.
And do we think like, because when Jude sees the note, right, she thinks that like, oh, this guy must really hate me. He's like writing like my name over and over, and like there's ink blots everywhere, like he must be really angry, and like we see it as like, oh, like he has a crush on her, like he's attracted to her, because I mean, at least when I initially saw it, I was like, Carden likes Jude, and he's like, I guess maybe frustrated at himself. But I'm trying to think like the context in which he would just like sit down and write like a name over and over again.
I just think it's funny that like she sees it so automatically as he must hate her, but like we're away from it and we see that he's like obsessed with her, you know, like she has such like a negative outlook of herself because of the world that she's in, but like he's obsessed. Like he's so sexually frustrated he broke his pen. Like
he got ink poisoning over there.
Because when I was reading the scene, I was like, girl, are you dumb? Like he's obviously in love with you. But like it makes sense because like she's like insecure, so it makes sense that he's like that much.
Ooh, I really like Tea Time with Naomi said that since he is a victim of abuse, that sometimes his form of caring is in a form of abuse, and that's 100% true. Like that, I never even really like put those connections together, but he thinks that's love. So,
like, you know, if I love Jude, like my brother must love me. I might as well bully her because you know that's gonna show my affection.
And I almost feel
on the playground.
Yeah, I almost feel like there's like a point where there's like a passage where Jude's like, oh, like Carden's cruel, but like look at his brother, like this is what he could become if he just like keeps getting this in his life. And I almost feel like Jude kind of, that's when she starts to have sympathy for him, or maybe not sympathy, but more of like an understanding. And I think that in that point she kind of like realizes like, oh, maybe Carden just like needs someone to love him because no one loves him.
Yeah.
Like sad. Yeah. He's kicked out of his home and he lives with his older brother that like beats him and tells him that he sucks, and like no one likes him, and he just like takes it out on everyone else, but still like has this inner soft side. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like that's the point when we start to get more of an understanding of Carden's character.
Maybe
Which
he
makes
sees
him messed
them.
up when she betrays him, because it's kind of like, yeah, you cared about him for like half a page, and then you just threw all this trust away. So it messes everything up more because now he feels super betrayed. I don't know how they're gonna work this out.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he sees like both of them as rejects, like because he sees himself as a reject from like the royal family, and then he sees her as a reject from like the world in general, and like he's like, we could be rejects together.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know how to express it.
Oh, but she's messing it up.
Y'all are gonna make me cry.
Ooh, did you guys want to talk about our favorite side characters?
Oh yeah, we like totally forgot about that.
No, that's okay. I just remembered it because
Yeah.
for me, a really big one that came into play, and I completely forget her name, but it was Maddox's new wife, that like the surrogate mother or whatever, surrogate adoptive mother of Oak. That the fact that you expected her to just be this sort of like annoying maternal figure that like Jude hates because she was kind of thrust into this like new mother that was not hers at all. But then she came into play and was ended up being the friend of like Locke's mom and the mom of Oak. I think she might be one of my favorite characters, and I want to say that they're going to explore a lot more about her in The Wicked King, or at least I hope so anyways.
I just think that like she's the perfect representation of like everyone seeing her as like this perfect womanly figure, and like she has nothing to put to the table, but she's doing so much in the background. Like there's so much more to being a person than like being outwardly badass or something. You know, like she's so like pristine and perfect, but on the inside she's like the biggest badass in the book. Like she's protecting the secret prince, you know?
Literally.
So I didn't even remember her, but yeah, she has to be probably my favorite character, like one of my favorite characters now too.
I think most of the other side characters like kind of suck.
They do, yeah.
I do not agree because I love Matt.
Matt.
Ooh, I loved him, and then the ending came around, and now I don't.
He gave you the sword, and I was like okay with him, and then the whole entire end scene. So
okay,
I hated him from the very beginning.
To be fair, though, I actually really liked Locke for a really long time.
Yeah, he had moments. I'm not gonna lie. I was on Team Locke for quite a bit there.
Yeah. I mean, even after I found everything out, I was still like,
I think that like most of the side characters are interesting, but I won't say that I like that. Like I like reading about them and learning more about them, but I don't actually like them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of my favorite side characters was actually Prince Dane. Like I thought he was a lot more cruel than like what Carden was.
Yeah.
That came out that he was like not actually a saint like everybody thought he was or something. So yeah.
I found the gears or whatever it's called very tricky. Like I was like, it all went all right, and then the last sentence like, only I can control you. I'm like,
that was like
that wasn't what we discussed.
Wait, so I didn't reread it, so I can't really remember the names or anything, but who's like the crew that
those people, I like them. I forgot their names.
Like I know
Word of Shadows.
And then something else.
Yeah,
I
really liked them.
I thought they were cool just because like they weren't as mean as like the school kids or whatever. So like I kind of respected them because I didn't think like the spying, everything was wrong with that. So like they were Jude's friends, so I liked them.
Yeah, but then you find out that the ghost is the one that poisoned Lyra Rope for Dane like years and years ago, and he's like, like sad because you realize that.
So no one.
I think he said, like everyone kind of has like a secret motive, and everyone like kind of like is a little evil. A very shades of gray.
That's what I love most about this book is that every character isn't 100% good or evil. Like they all are gray, and I love it.
Love that.
I read something online and it was like The Cruel Prince is a book where only two characters can lie, but everyone gets deceived. And that's
Oh.
so
Yeah.
true. I'm like,
Good.
how did this happen?
True.
Back with Oriana though, and like you were saying how she is like outwardly projecting this whole thing, and like Jude and Taryn just think she's like kind of annoying and like thinks that she's like that they're like dumb humans that are gonna get taken up in like the party or whatever, and then you find out that she was actually a consort to the king and she like knows the horrors of the court and she like doesn't want them to get involved in it because she knows like how horrible it is, and she has this like secret with Oak, and we find out that what Jude perceives just like an annoying stepmom is actually someone that's like really trying to protect them from like ending up somewhere bad because it's so much harder for them as humans in the world of fairy.
Yeah. No, she's definitely the most like interesting character. Like out of everyone, like I thought that she was gonna and see I judged her too. Like I did the whole like, oh, she's that stepmom, the one that only cares about looks and like doesn't really care about her stepchildren or anything like that. But at the end of the day, she was just so much more than what she was being like drawn out to be.
Yeah.
So, do you think Locke? Wait. First, Locke. Do you think Locke can be redeemed in the next book?
I don't know. I feel like he's a really weird character to think about like redeeming because he's like that person who said like if there's not something interesting happening, I'll make it happen or whatever. So I feel like his whole motivation is that he just wants some drama in his life. So
Yeah.
he isn't real enough to be redeemed.
But we do kind of have to feel bad for him because like his mother was poisoned. Like he has no one. Like he has no one, you know? So he's probably like just as messed up as everyone else.
Wait,
Like,
that means that Oak is his brother. I didn't even think about that.
Oh my god, yeah. Which might give him some sort of claim to the throne too.
Oh crap!
Later on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, like
that's
Force
right. Yeah,
Awakens. Yeah.
Destroying that.
I don't think he would, just because he doesn't have any actual like blood ties to the throne.
Okay,
and they're very
yeah,
serious
definitely.
about that.
Yeah.
I can see Locke trying to play that, but I can see Oak just
Being like,
not dealing with that, especially if they're living in the human world too.
I definitely feel like Locke is gonna try and mess things up with like Jude and Cardin.
Yes.
Like I can totally see that happening. Like he's gonna like try and play his games again on Jude, and she's gonna be like, "Bitch."
Yeah.
I'm
But
also
didn't
really
he already do that though? Like,
true.
he already tried to mess it up.
I think he'll
So-
probably do it again.
at the end of the Lost Sisters, there was like a little sampler of the Wicked King, and it says that I think like in this book, Taryn and Locke are getting married in like 3 weeks in the beginning of the Wicked King or something. So I'm so interested to see like because she like he asked for Taryn's hand at the end of the Cruel Prince, and Maddox was like, I mean, I don't see why not, but I don't think it's a good match. So like now they're going ahead with it. And I'm really interested to see how like that is gonna play out.
Yeah.
If they're actually gonna get married or not.
Is it weird to think that I think Taryn's gonna be like the ultimate villain? Like she's gonna be the bitch. Like
I think the one that sucks the most.
she sucks, and like her motivations are so selfish, and like she has no sense of right or wrong, like at all.
As long as it affects her in a good way, she's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. If it doesn't, then I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. I almost feel like her and Locke deserve each other because they both equally suck. And they both try and manipulate people around them into like other things. And that's why I feel like she was okay with like throwing Jude under the bus to get to Locke, because like that's what she wanted. That was like the interesting story. And they were both kind of playing Jude, and they like,
Well, both of them might be like the villainous, like I almost said trio, like duo. You know, they might be. I can definitely see that.
They just have like the biggest position to mess things up, because obviously Taryn has a connection with Oak, Locke has a connection with Oak. Like they all have connections with like the main players in this story, and they both love drama. Like they liked, and Taryn really only likes it because of Locke, and she's willing to do anything to please him. So
she's definitely on board with whatever he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm kind of paranoid again, and I think there should be more to it. You know, that
there probably is.
I'm not sure if Taryn is just as bad as she is portrayed right now. I think there's probably more because like plot twists and stuff. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling. I don't know.
I kind of hope she dies. Like, I know that would be like sad, but she deserves it.
I wouldn't be
One
sad, if she died, but I'd be
Yeah, I
sad
wouldn't
for
be sad.
Jude if Taryn died, because Jude would be sad about it,
Yeah.
even if like we all are like happy about Taryn dying.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe bad bitch Jude wouldn't be that sad about it because now she's like, well, I like have a throne. My like sister completely like threw me under the
Yeah.
bus there, so
Yeah.
maybe she'll like.
Be like,
Yeah,
know.
I still feel like even if she's mad at Taryn, like we were talking about Jude earlier, like she still protects and like cares about Taryn. So even if Taryn cares about Jude, I feel like even if she's mad about what happened, even if she like has a throne now, she obviously like that's her twin. She's not just gonna stop caring about
She
her
wouldn't be
immediately.
the one to kill her either.
No.
No.
I mean, like, unless it threatened like something more serious, you know? Like, I think that at the end of the day, like, if Taryn was threatening Oak or if Taryn was threatening Cardin or something like that, like, Jude would do what she needed to get.
Yeah.
Naomi also says that maybe Cardin would kill Taryn to save Jude, like the other way around.
Ooh,
Oh, I can definitely see that.
I feel like
Yeah.
Cardin might be the main villain.
What?
Sorry, say that again.
At the end, I feel like maybe he could be a potential antagonist just because of what like Jude did to him and stuff. Like you guys said, like he puts on like a persona of like being really evil or whatever. Now he really would be like he would have a reason to be evil because she betrayed him. So maybe he could try and mess up her plans while also being in servitude to her. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just like a theory.
But I have heard that like there's some steamy scenes with like Jude and Cardin in the next book. So I feel like you can't go completely evil if there's steamy scenes.
I'm so excited.
It's just like hate sex. Like they are hating each other.
I would be into that though because I think that their dynamic is so interesting because they like try to fight their attraction to each other and then that just makes it like steamy.
Even if he was like the villain, I feel like they still would find a way back to each other. So
yeah,
that's true. I love the hate to love trope. Like that's
oh my god,
me too.
My weakness.
Yeah, I feel like right now.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
Also, she does it so perfectly. Like that was all.
Okay. I feel like right now they were like hate to like, and now they're back to like
hate again.
It's not like a permanent, it just like it like keeps going back and forth, but it's like a hate to a secretly like, or like Cardin is like doesn't hate her, but he likes her and is mad at her, and
he's also mad at
kinda
himself
like,
for liking her. He's like, I hate myself for liking you. I'm so
it's also
ready.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, have you
It's
read
also-
the out of context Wicked King quotes?
Yeah. I'm like,
No.
I've read
They're so
everything
good.
and I'm trying to like, analyze the scene, like what could be happening here.
No, I want everything to be a complete surprise. That's why like I wasn't bummed that I didn't like get an arc or anything like that because I just want to like be immersed in the story the second it comes out.
No one's talking to me for like the day I'm reading it, and I know it's only going to take me a day to read it.
True.
Yeah. Same.
Naomi saying that I have a horrible feeling that Vivi is gonna die too. I can absolutely see that because Vivi is such a target. If she's the one that's in the like Earth realm taking care of Oak, then she has the hugest target on her back right now.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. I think that okay, wait, actually I have a new theory. So what if Taryn's the one that kills Vivi?
Oh.
Not because of Locke. Like Locke is the one that's like really leading everything on, and then Taryn's the one that ends up like injuring Vivi and then potentially killing her.
I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
Like that would be the moment that Taryn turns into the true villain because like there's no forgiving her if you're killing your half sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That was another thing about this book. I felt like it kept you guessing about who is actually the villain. Because at first you think it's like Balekin or whatever, because Balekin sucks. And he murdered his whole family, but then you also realize that like Dane sucks because he orchestrated like his dad dying and like, all this stuff, and like he shoves a sword through Jude's hand, at which point I was like, okay, this dude is not good. And so like it keeps going back and forth, like, and then at first you think it's Cardan because Cardan's bullying Jude, and then you see like, okay, no, like Balekin really sucks, he's like planning something, and then you see later like, oh, Dane really sucks, and then you see later, no, Maddox really sucks because he's trying then to get power for himself through Oak, who's like just a baby.
Yeah, it definitely jumps around a lot. Like, I think that Wicked King is gonna be a wild ride. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the
So, what are you guys' prediction of the Wicked King?
I feel like. I think. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I like only learned about the title of the third book today, The Queen of Nothing. Yes. So I have a feeling that this book isn't going to be good for it's not going to be good for Jude. It will go good for a while, but I have a feeling that it will end in a not good position. Whereas, like, we kind of saw the Wicked King where she ended up in such a position of power that I think, the Cruel Prince, that I think by the end of the Wicked King, she's not going to be the one ending up, like, in a good position.
But you have to wonder how she becomes queen. Like, I don't think they would just say queen, like, if it's not, like, official, you know?
Yeah, because all the Cruel Prince and Wicked King, they're, like, that's about Cardan, who's, like, officially the Cruel Prince and officially the Wicked King. So, like, I think she's going to be queen, but of nothing. Like,
but wasn't her title in, like, the Court of Shadows, the Queen?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they will be that way.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe
she's going to become queen, though. She has to.
I just don't want Cardan to die. That's it. Like, I'm worried that that's a possibility, and I don't want that to happen.
I wasn't thinking about anybody dying, and now I'm like, wow, what if this person dies? Like, I did not ever think like, oh, somebody's gonna die. Like, that was never a possibility.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but you do have to think, like, Holly and is friends with Cassandra Clare. Like, they both like.
Could be bad.
Oh my god.
I'm scared of the Wicked King now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people have said that they like hate Cardan after it, and I feel like some stuff goes down. I don't know if I'm ready to deal with this.
Oh, sorry.
I am just saying, I feel like my mouth is just gonna be like hanging open, and I'm just gonna be like the whole time I'm reading the book, and just like, what is going on, and I'm so excited.
No, my only prediction, my only prediction for the Wicked King is I think Cardan and Jude are gonna bang.
They definitely are. They're too high. They can't not do it.
You know, I'm hoping the Wicked King will be kind of like the new Akamath.
Yeah.
I'm so okay with that.
I think that could definitely happen.
But like better, because I feel like it's
better.
Hate.
Yes.
Instead of it being like love.
In love. Yeah. Right.
Hate sex is way.
I'm very much hoping it's like a little bit more steamy because I'm ready for it.
Yeah. The only thing I actually know about the Wicked King is that like the kingdom of the sea is gonna play some part. Because when I went to Holly Black's signing last year, she told us that like there are gonna be mermaids and stuff, I believe.
Whoa.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And that's also why there's like water on the cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm interested because
she wanted her daughter to like get married into the throne, right? Like the Sea Queen and everything.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what did you guys think of Cardan being in love with Nicasia? And like they just kind of mentioned that they had a relationship that like fell apart. And
but
like
was he really
Jude asks, because he can't lie. And Jude said, "Did you love her?" And he said, "Yes." So
I feel like his feelings for her are dwindling because of his feelings for Jude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a broken heart feeling.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so interesting that like Locke stole Nicasia away, and then he was like, "Peace out," and dated Taryn and Jude.
She's horrible.
Locke is bad.
Yeah, he really was, because he stole her away, and then basically just was like, forget her, and then mess with Jude, and then Taryn, like, who is this guy? Like,
he stole his best friend's girl. Like, who is you?
I don't know.
You know what would be really interesting is to look back at this video when we do our second read-along.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
About her longer,
Just to
right?
see-
Yeah.
Like, we don't even need
Yeah.
to look back on it. All we have to do is ask Mayana. Like, after we're done reading, be like, what is it?
Spoil it.
Yeah.
I honestly can't wait. So this live stream in our theories,
Comment.
like I can't say anything. Like
You're breaking up a lot, babe.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
happening to everyone else.
oh,
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no, we're losing
is it
you.
good now? It's like freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like going in and out. Like we hear like a phrase and then it goes.
Oh no.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
All right. It is an hour is up. Do we end our live show?
Yeah.
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 Were there any last thoughts that anyone wanted to like add in or something?
I mean, like, I was thinking about like predictions for the last like few thoughts or whatever, but like we already talked about all that. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just excited and scared.
Yeah.
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 Ew.
That's kind of it. Yeah.
Oh, and let's announce our next date for the Wicked King live
Yeah.
show. We
Yeah.
decided we're going to do it on February 2nd, probably around the same time at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm very excited to see how our predictions played out in
Yeah.
Wicked King, and just like also to
Yeah.
see Jude and Carden hopefully finally get together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Definitely. Can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too.
So excited for Tuesday. Oh my god.
Thank you everyone that came to watch. This was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You guys have been great.
For sure. Because like I didn't even remember a lot of the stuff about the book because I read it a while ago and I didn't reread it, but like everybody like refreshed my memory, so like now I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Go
same boat. I didn't even realize how much I remembered about it until
Yeah.
we started talking.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Alrighty.
I have no idea how to close this.
Yeah. I was just talking about that. All right. Goodbye, you two.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.